Hello everybody. My last video for today, and probably my last video for a while. I know there's now only 4 videos left on my channel, but I think I wrap it up with this. As far as my foundation is concerned, this is it. Then it only leaves finding our way back to the truth. And any video that, if there's a video after that, should really be about finding something that points in the right direction. But that then requires looking for it, and whether we'll find it, that's another thing. Whether I will find something is another thing. So, special thanks to David Icke for getting it completely wrong. So, narrow is the way that leadeth unto life. Think about that. And think about what's happening at the moment, this great awakening. What is this great awakening actually all about? It is a rise of esoteric knowledge. It is the rise of our emotional knowledge, which at the moment, our head knowledge, converts into not so much pictures at the moment, but into words. We are speaking our truth. We are speaking the truth that is grown out of our roots, which are the earth. Our roots are in this earth. We were made from the dust of this. So the truth is rising from the roots, and we are given it a voice. Now, this has been allowed to happen because it's happening for a purpose. And any knowledge that you have of yourself will be used against you. Will be used against you in a way that it's going to be tweaked. You're going to be, you know, a truth, and they put a meaning onto it, which will then lead you in the wrong way. We need to find our own meaning to our own truth in order to see the fullness. That is to say, the head knowledge needs to correctly understand what it is saying. Right. So, what has brought about this great awakening? Apparently, things are going belly up, and we're on our knees. You know, in repentance and God knows what, we're looking for higher intervention. Now, what brought this about? How did we get here? And they're telling us it's because we are greedy. We are insatiable. We are using up the resources of this world. Which in a way is true. Why are we greedy? Why are we so greedy? Why are we permanently looking for something? It's because they have created images out of our true desires. And their images cannot satisfy us. That is why we keep going. Why we want more and more and more. Because their trinkets will not satisfy our true desire. And the trinkets they're building, again, is out of a knowledge of us. They're trying to keep us satisfied. They can't. It's not sustainable. So, desire like connectivity, that is an esoteric knowledge. That is a desire grown out of a true knowledge of ourselves. We want to be connected. So they gave us the internet. The desire for food that will satisfy us. They're giving us food that will never satisfy us. True food is of the Spirit. And what they give us will never satisfy. We know it as not truth, although we're not aware of that. But, as I said, it was allowed to go forward because they wanted to open our bottomless pit, because there is a knowledge we need to have for them to tweak. And that knowledge is the knowledge of energy and frequency, and then being tweaked in the wrong way. Tweaked in a way of David Icke, where he says, oh, you are on such a narrow band of frequency. Yeah? There is so much more out there. We need to expand our mind. We need to get onto a higher frequency. Narrow is the way that leadeth to life. And out there is destruction. I heard when I said, bring your house in order. Bring your house in order. And I heard it's a question, either it's a question of stacking it the right way, or sometimes less is more. And they both hold true. It's both. Stacking is stacking in order of importance. What is the most important thing? What is it you need most of all? Life. If you don't have that, nothing else matters. You need life. And anything that comes after that must serve life. And sometimes less is more, and that is referring to the frequency. We want to go home. There's another thing. Esoteric knowledge, knowledge that is speaking out of us. We need to go home. This is not home. We don't know it as home. Again, we're being tweaked, onto the thought of worlds, of planets, of aliens. We're coming from somewhere else. Well, some of us might do. Some of us might be created from the dust of this. But I'll talk about that later. So narrow is the way. You are on such a narrow frequency. Yeah, that's because that is us. That frequency is us. It is the frequency of this world. Yeah? In fact, I don't think we're really on it at the moment. We're too high up. Our frequency is the Schumann resonance. Yeah. That is our frequency. And that is a narrow band of frequency. Our life is in that frequency. Our knowledge is in that frequency. The knowledge of this world is in that frequency. It is created by the knowledge of the world itself. That's a thought of giving to its forms. And it is created by all the forms that are here that have life under that thought, because they behave in a way that it will give to all. That is creating the frequency of this world. And our truth is in that narrow band. It's not out there, darlings. It's here. So for us to go home, for us to see the world correctly, and then know it as truth, and we will know it as truth, we need to be on that band of frequency. And this world is not nothing. There's so much knowledge in here. It's packed to the brim with knowledge. Life is knowledge. Life is a knowledge of the Creator. And it's packed with knowledge. If we ever get to the end of this, it will take us forever to understand the entire thing. But we're being driven out of this frequency with the promise of something better, something bigger. In thinking that, we are detaching. That's a frequency. And we're going on to that frequency. They want to come here, and we are becoming the frequency. We are becoming the gateway for them to come in. And they are not the thinking of this world, or otherwise they would be here. They are not the thinking of this world. And they will destroy this world. Their frequency is in conflict with the frequency of this world. We are increasingly becoming in conflict with this world. We are becoming them. We are becoming like them, and they are not greater than us. Forget it. As I said, there might be others here that came from somewhere else, but as long as they are on this frequency, that is on the thought of the world, that is the thought of looking after each other, of giving and receiving from each other, a love that gives to something that is nothing like itself, but it can still give, and it needs to learn how much it can give and how much, will actually serve the other. What is good is not depending on the giver, it's depending on the receiver, and you mustn't judge. If it needs it, it needs it. Yeah? So there is still so many lessons that we have to learn, but if there are those here that came from somewhere else that are on the frequency of that thought, then they are on the same wavelength of us, as us, and in which case they can be here. And again, the more the merrier. It's knowledge. Knowledge that is being used to serve the same intention. But a knowledge that comes that will not serve this intention, but serves something else, that knowledge cannot be here, should not be here. It will destroy us, it will destroy this world, it will destroy itself. And I don't think it can last. The world will spew it out at some point. So there you have it. We need to find our way out home. We need to see this world inside a frequency. That is to say, the thought. The thought has to think according to that. That must be the goal. And if the thought thinks like that, it should become the same frequency as the world, in which case the two will connect again. But it is the thought of giving and receiving, to go in a way that gives to all. Sustain yourself by sustaining that which is around you, not by going up against it and taking of it. All those thoughts would get you onto this frequency, and that is our true home. And then we will know this world in its glory, so to speak. But as I said, we've been given this idea of vibration and frequency with the thought of, there's so much more out there, you must go there. You are on such a narrow band of frequency. That's your home. That's where you belong. That's where you receive. Schumann resonance. 7 point something hertz. So, and that is pretty much where you is to be conscious. I've heard 8 you can go. I don't know if that is true, but 8 you can go, which would be the state between sleep and being awake. There, the knowledge of this world. There is the knowledge of this world. That is the narrow band that you should be on. So, no folks, the truth is not out there. The truth is actually in the twilight zone. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I don't know how much more I can say other than we must find our way home. And that is a frequency. Home is a frequency. And it's not all the way out there. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I talk to you again soon. Bye.